Hey guys, what up? How we doing? Oh.
Check in with me when you have a moment.
All right, what have you finally sold the fire song? Nope, not you. What am I missing with this fire song? Why aren't you selling? Hmm. Ready for
Not
10.
selling, was it?
Anyways, how we doing? How we doing? We left off on Saturday. Basically, I was a few levels less than this, and I hadn't actually gotten my rings. These rings are just placeholder rings until I use this item. Realistically, I should use the item. Why haven't I used it? I actually don't know why I haven't used it. If I'm being very honest with you, I have zero idea. I should use it. I just haven't. Basically because I just hadn't taken it off of my chieftain. That's the reason why I just took it off literally as I started stream today. So maybe I'll actually get flask for this setup. What up, Ghost? How you doing? Trade. What mage blood flask do we even have at our disposal? I'm doing good. Doing good. Figuring out what I want to do. I guess we could repurpose this, right? That's something we can repurpose. I am going to finally get this build to a point where it can actually run content is the plan. Once I give it a mage blood, that should get me to level 84. Once I'm at level 84, we can start planning to do other things. As it stands now, I think we're almost capped on res or oh wait, we actually can't use this because I'm going to need quartz, jade, bismuth, and ruby. Those are the flasks I settled on. Yeah, those are the ones I settled on. What is going to be the cheapest combination on all of these? Probably ruby with a void stun, bismuth with increased armor, or jade with increased armor, then quartz with bleed immunity, stuff like that. I think would be the play. I'll figure out what I need. How's the new job? It's pretty good, pretty good. I can't complain. The commute is very short, literally walking distance. So, and as far as first days go, there was like a lot of training videos to go through and shit like that. So I basically spent my day doing that. Lots and lots of videos, and I still have way more to go. So all things considered, pretty good company. Like the people I'm working with, so I can't complain. The boring part, I know. Like when I started going through videos this morning, by the time I was like 30 minutes, 45 minutes in, I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? Like I actually started fighting sleep. I'm like, my G, can you like not bother me right now? I kind of need to not be sleepy right now. I don't have a quartz here. I do have a ruby that has armor, so we can just repurpose that. Do we use a granite on this setup? Probably not. No. So we have ruby and we have armor. We need bismuth with probably bleed, and then quartz with avoid stun, and then jade with early res. Bismuth with early res will probably be one of the more expensive ones to do, so let's just prep ourselves for that. Why do I have this page open? Anyways, we need early res during effects. We also need avoid stun during effects. We need immune bleed corrupted during effect. These are the 3 suffixes we need, and mandatorily we need increased effect 25. And then I'm just going to cycle these. Let's start with the bismuth. The bismuth, I suspect this will be the most expensive combination. $19, $20. Yeah, it's not even that expensive, to be honest. I suspect this would be cheaper. 53. How many chaoses do I have? Because actually I'm running low on liquid currency. Mostly because I invested in a focused amulet, and I'm hoping it's it's going up in price slowly. I figure if I'm not online farming, I might as well invest in stuff that will appreciate. Plus I do have stuff I need to liquidate anyways.
Doubt even I could sell that.
Why did he say that for something I just bought? That is the line you get when you gamble. It's weird. Anyways, so that's bismuth. Then we need quartz with corrupted blood or jade. This person clearly doesn't have that. So next is jade flask with how about we get a cap 20%? What about quartz? Yeah, this is fine with me. And then jade would just get immune to corrupted blood, and I can always roll the immune to corrupted blood myself. All right, so we have the 4 flasks we need. We can just slap on our mage blood and call it a day. The problem now, if you want to call it that, is 53. 68 plus 25 times 1.68 plus 35 plus 25 is 5 is 73. 93. 1.93. Yeah, okay, that's still enough. All right. I just wanted to make sure it was up to 100% chance to avoid stun. Flasks. Do I have a Witchfire brew? Tell me I do. No, I don't. Of course I don't. Why would I? Why on earth would I have that already? So that is Witchfire. What is replica Witchfire? Vaughn. I mean, both of them are asked for me, so like it doesn't really matter. If this was punishment, that'd be a different situation, but it's Vaughn. I don't do any fizz. Reduce charges per use that is not corrupted.
Oh, wish I'd kept that one.
No, you don't, Fossils. Calm down. I don't know why the AoE is like. I kind of thought I would see how wide it was. Turns out no. Anyways, it's fine. What does our res look like now? 259, 101, 148. This 101 gives me cause for concern because I mean, A, I'm overcapped on 1, but B, I'm going to end up using a melding. But before we use the melding, oh, I already have it socketed. So I guess we try putting it in melding and we see how my code res is not capped. Yep. Seems about right. I'm pretty sure I'm meant to switch out any source of fire res like this for cold res and lightning res. And the reason being that fire to cold res. The reason is I'm meant to be using purity of fire, so I don't actually need any source of direct fire res. Should just be fine. But I don't. What sources of reservation am I missing? I'm meant to have an enlighten with three. Meant to have a. Let's see. Let's start from where my auras are supposed to be. Purity of fire and purity of elements. Purity of elements comes with my next link, so that is fine. But I am currently using, oh, I don't have purity of elements. Okay. Let's go orb of regret. That's the one. Then I'll pass over the purity of fire. So we're only going to use the enlighten and the purity of fire. We're going to skip out on the other two. This means we are not ailment immune, sadly. But it does mean I need to get with Marvel, so at least I can't be frozen. Just as a stopgap. I'm living a new character and I'm using those hydras you were using last time. Shit is so busted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You slap on hydras, you slap wait. Oh, okay. You slap on hydras, you slap on a 6 link, just give them return, give them GMP. You don't have to you don't have to think about leveling. You're gonna be over leveling every single zone. And all you're doing is running around. You don't need to stop for a second to think, oh, maybe I should. No. Irrelevant. Cue shaper sound. It's just you don't need to do that. It feels so nice. They are basically going to be my twin setup every single time I need to level a new character, regardless of class. I'm going to go hydras. I can't afford to use my offering. What can I do? $18 mana. Yeah, I can't afford to use it. I have to think. That means I have to drop one of my cries. I mean, I happily drop in front of cry, but that also means that I need to spend on war cry tattoos. They're expensive, holy.
We'll make it happen.
Pretty sure I have some, so I probably shouldn't have bought that many. However, it's fine. Really? Huh. All right, so what are we looking at now? These two are still not capped. We can get rid of fire res here or cold res, but that's like the only other source of fire res I think I can actually switch. So realistically, we're not going to be capped on the other two. Not yet, at least. Not until we get purity of elements. So, it's fine. How much rest do I even really need? I need to make sure I don't level this. And I need to make sure this is enough. So, I think with this character, I'm going to actually get the Marvel thing. Yep, that is the instant cue to just go get your Marvel chance, 100% chance to avoid being frozen. Because who likes being frozen? Currently, while we level, as you might notice, we're actually using Dread Banner for the chance to block, because I think I need chance to block if I actually realistically want to level. Because like the goal right now is to get to level The goal is to get to level 84 so I can actually craft gear and not think about it.
My spirit is spent.
I also need to get to level 80 so I can actually use actual grafts. I'm still playing Crawler. Lol. I mean, I ended the last stream playing it, yeah. I haven't actually gotten my build up and running. I would say I just literally just equip my mage blood. There's still so much I need to do, including get more double damage chance. What up, Yako? Let's try this. Let's try these single target bosses again. Are you done with crawlers?
You must win this one for me, my champion.
Your champion looks delicious. Come. Trample. Hunger.
Keep in mind, this is... I don't have curse, even.
Feast. Melt. Obliterate the pain.
Not bad. Not bad. I'm still using the level 18 gem, which I should replace with a 2120 gem. I have two of them, and I can't use a Dark Monarch until level 84, much to my annoyance. So
Yo, champion, baby.
yes and no. I keep it for bosses. Oh yeah, isn't it strictly for bosses? You don't enjoy the clear aspect of it. You don't enjoy it for clear, basically. Too slow. Sup, Mr. Arcane.
Sup? Sup?
I'm good. You?
I can't complain. Came back home to 20k chaos.
Yeah. What did you sell?
Scarabs. There's a lot of scarabs before I went to bed.
You're still not done selling the scarabs?
Bro, it's a lot of scarabs. I did a lot of maps. That's like I didn't sell after my last sell, so it's a lot.
So you've been basically slow selling is what that means.
I sold a bunch before bed, and now I've been still selling the rest. Slow selling is probably true.
Oh 07.
Oh good, I'm having a good time.
They have good damage, they shatter mobs easy. They have really good single target damage. It's just a case of clear at this point. And I think they'll have... Oh god, what is that, degen? That reminds me, I really should get a... What is the name of that guy? An irrational doctrine.
Focuses went out, by the way.
I saw. They're like, what, AD higher?
Yeah, about that, yep.
Yeah, so. I still have mine.
The profit margin on those craft are insane. Like,
Look.
remember PoE2?
Yeah.
That craft? Think about that like that.
Yeah, I mean,
Because it
it's
doesn't really matter if you miss the 50-50. If the base is 40D of the focused, but you're selling that shit, and it's 150D craft, but you're selling that shit for like 350, 360. That's fucking insane. How often do you see a profit margin like that in this game?
it depends on, like, 50-50 is like, it's a 50-50 to get the recom. It's a 50-50 to, like, I think the, what's it called? The, what's the name of that step? The essence step is honestly fine. It's just essence and all. How'd you get the second base is my, I guess is my question, because I didn't finish watching the video.
I think they make it. Not gonna lie.
I mean, they probably do.
The way Waggle did is also different, man. I was watching Chronic Painless,
Yeah.
and he did it, but he did it a little bit differently. And like his bases were like essence bases. Like the second base was like an essence spam base.
Don't you only want one
think
SS
Waggles was a
mob
mix
between
of
both of
that
them?
and- I think you do. I do. I just don't. I didn't. I was at work and I was kind of busy. So I didn't really get to understand how he was trying to explain what he did differently than Waggle. But he was like, yeah, he's been making money from this for a while, which explains why motherfucker stopped streaming for 2 days, came back with a build that was doing 1 billion damage with BV. Do you know how hard that is?
The build that puts other builds to shame.
I'm like, damn, man, all that from Harvest?
You started a new character almost every second day. Most of them are stupid ideas and feel, but you have fun testing. I mean, that's the sandbox that we all enjoy in PoE. That's really the sandbox. That's what you should strive to feel in this game. Just being able to play with different skills, different minions, different, you know, different everything. I know what my next build is going to be, but the question I guess would be, do I want to go through it? I guess so far I don't really mind banner gameplay. So far I really don't mind this. My bigger concern is if I can figure out, I guess they're clear, then we're golden. So I'm going to be messing around with different things to see how, you know, the clear feels. I should honestly also get some toxic sewers so I can actually just blast some maps there, because that's where they are probably going to shine with explode. And odds are, if I'm being very realistic, it's just not even a, I think it might honestly just be a, this is the one spectre that doesn't want a Dark Monarch slash Great Lord setup. I'm probably just want an Explode AG, like a Giga Explode AG, like Gravebind, Explode Chests, King of Kulemak, and then Curse on hits. And then you can scale that in many different ways. You can do Link gameplay if you so choose with Hallowed Monarch. You can instead go for a rare helmets. You can share charges with them and go the amulets. There are really many options if you decide not to go for a pure Spectre setup. So one thing I do want to test is, I don't want to get rid of renewals. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait. But what I will do is I will use my next few points to pick this again and see how it feels. The banner that gives move speed helps them a lot clearing. Yeah, the movement speed is very good. Very, very good. Maybe this is the actual one setup that you actually want to go for. What do you call it? That you actually want to do Link gameplay for, because I don't think they need many. What auras would they care about? They care about haste, I guess, speed aura. But most of the headhunter buffs you'd want to get, you would get, they don't care as much for it, because specters don't care as much for Fizzles Extra. Like the 50% Fizzles Extra basically, when compared to converts, only counts for how much of the damage? I think like 12.5% more damage compared to if it was 50% convert, or because it doesn't get the 4x damage bonus, it's not worth nearly as much as raw phase that gets converted. But I guess it's they can still technically get 3 of them, which is probably pretty decent. Then they can get speed aura, they can get 10 bubbles. What else is a good rare mod that they'll care about? Maybe Soul Eater. I mean, if you're not going for Dark Monarch, I think it's definitely an unending hunger angle as well, because because there are fewer specters, it becomes way more valuable for you to run Soul Eater. And I guess the only specter you would then go is Hydra for the hatred aura. Or I guess you could go defensive with Turtle if you so choose. Explode AG in Chains of Command would be good. Oh, it feels so amazing. I cannot recommend an Explode AG enough in a Chains of Command setup. The only problem is with an Explode AG, is there even a problem with an Explode AG in a Chains of Command? Maybe he's not as defensive, but there really isn't a downside. I would go Explode AG. Oh yeah, the only problem is his weapon is kind of not locked into not being explode unless you craft it up, which I wouldn't. I think for explode AGs, or for Chains of Command, you want to go Void Forge for Elemental, or you want to go a rare heist base if you're not. And you're not getting a rare heist base. You're not getting a rare heist base with explode. Like you're not getting a Saints rare heist base to craft on. I keep going back there. What is the map I want to run? I have a bunch of city squares, right? I think. Yeah, I do. Cannot regen, can't run that. Kinda don't want less CDR. I'll run the LA res map, see how it feels. Everything else seems pretty okay. King of Kulamak can have explode. You wouldn't go King of Kulamak on Chains of Command. That would suck damage wise. There are way better damage options. I wouldn't go King of Kulamak for Chains of Command. It would hurt your damage too much. My minions are still alive, right? Maybe I'll optimize this setup to be bossa as well. That might just end up being one of the things I do. I feel like I've wanted to... Wait. I wanted to always make a bossa, but I think every single league I've thought about having a bossa. Something about it turns me off. Not sure what it is, but okay, I think yeah, switching multi-strike for melee splash was a mistake. Jeez.
I can't do this just yet.
Yeah, I think the problem is just how single target they are. They really just don't have clear. I think it's definitely it definitely could be a drop Dark Monarch angle. Get Hydra is the only DPS Spectre or support Spectre. Have 5 max Spectres, I think. 5 max, 1 Hydra, 4 of them get an explode AG, have him Giga carry your clear. What else would be in this setup to make it feel decent? You could go golems, stone golem for if you're not going link gameplay, then yeah, golems. If you're going link gameplay, then you would avoid golems. Single target damage wise, how do we compete with a Dark Monarch setup? We drop Bone Meld at that point, I think. We drop Bone Meld and go for Frenzy max endurance charge, then pick up max frenzy charges, and I think that is the setup where we go charge stacking and we pick up max frenzy here. Then for here, instead of going in this general direction, we just completely drop this area, I think, and then path here, picking up mostly just evasion stuff, frenzy, and then coming all the way here. We get here, we pick up the cluster jewel, we pick up the cluster jewel here. Maybe this one as well, if we have the points. We'd have 1, 2, so 5 max frenzies, which would be 5 max endurance, which would be 5 fortification, so it's 5% extra double damage chance. We'd have less minion damage because we wouldn't be in this vicinity, so we wouldn't pick up like this guy, but we'd have way better clear. Single target wise, we lose, I think we plan on having 3 supports, so we go from 7 DPS to 4, which is almost cutting our damage in half. So we have to AG can have the helmets, because I've already kind of solved recov with our banners being 10.5%. Because I've kind of solved it with banners, there's a good universe where it's like, okay, the AG would have nearby enemies take increased cold damage minus cold res helmets. For his chest piece, it'd be explode. For his boots, it would be Legacy of Fury, so scorch. For his gloves, it would be early weakness on hits, and his chest would have curse on hit, and his weapon would be explode. Then that would be a very, very big damage boost in just the AG itself, because early weakness, scorch, and minus cold res plus take increased LE damage. Those are big multipliers. So hopefully the goal would then be to have the AG replace DPS, so single target DPS wise, replace the crawlers we lost. But then the only problem I'm envisioning on this setup is we lose our turtle, and by losing our turtle, we're going to need to rework our defenses. We need to actually pick up determination somehow, because I don't think it's optional to go determination. I think we need the PDR, so we have to go determination. We lose the flat physical damage reduction he provides, but we still have like 5 endurance charges, so it's kind of fine. We lose 1 endurance charge, but we gain 5% chance to do double damage, as well as frenzy charges going to our minions. Again, more DPS scaling here. Then of course we also try to get +1 max power from the helmet itself, so that gives them a bit more crit scaling as well, which is nice to have as well. I think we actually just leave this as is. The way that would work is we'd swap this entire area, like everything here just gets cut out up until like here, because this is life. All of these become Warcry CDR, because I wouldn't have enough pure strength nodes to fully sustain, you know, Warcry CDR and all of that. Then I'd go for all the dex nodes, which, by the way, I actually do not know what I want coming from here, but I guess increased evasion rating is probably the play. Evasion rating or marks. The reason I don't want mark is simply because I would much rather have frostbite, like minus cold res versus marks. But assassin's mark is still pretty good. It's flat crits. If we're going giga crit scaling, then mark effects, giga stacking mark effects into the tunes of like, this is 4% in node. It's 4% in node, and we have access to what will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Easily 44, easily 60% plus. 60% plus increased effect of marks would put our assassin's mark with by itself. It's 49 crit multi. I'll leave this here so I can actually do the math. But the 1.5 would go all the way up to 2.4, so that's almost an extra flat crit percent. And then the multi probably goes up by like 30 or something like that, so it gets up to like 80 crit multi, which again is a lot. And that is ignoring the simple fact that that's ignoring the progression we've outlined, I guess, if you will. It also means instead of purity of fire, we have to go purity of we have to go purity of ice, because this would give me maximum resistance, and this would probably be something I pick up. We'd have a lot of evasion rating scaling, so that's not bad. Because going up here, we're going to be getting, and we also gain a jewel socket by being able to drop, where is that guy, the Witchbane, the Farborn Witchbane. If I really wanted defensive layers, I could pick up this wheel. I'm already capped on spell suppress. I can pick up this wheel and go for the minus 2% chance per hit suppressed. So if I keep taking spell damage, I would just end up suppressing like 60%, 70%. Well, that's assuming I can eat that many spells in a short amount of time, which I'm probably not going to be trying to get to. The only question is there a universe where we can pick this up? Does it exist? Does it actually? I doubt it. And even going all the way up here seems like a stretch. It might be a case we just take this and this, call it a day. But because we can go up here and do all of these, I'm inclined to believe at the very least we can get some life nodes in here. So take this wheel up, get here, take this, get this. I think we might honestly be able to afford going all the way here to get 6 endurance charges / 6 frenzy charges and 5 power charges max. I think we might honestly still be able to do that, because if we can get to 6, then that's obviously 6. That would be 6 double plus 6 double damage chance, which is fine. But because we can go for 3 clusters, it also means we might be able to pick up more renewals, which means we can be potentially pushing 100% double damage chance. I would still be very worried about minion increased damage because we'd be getting nothing on the tree, but I guess it's also okay. There are a few things I'd be worried about here. Worry 1, do we actually get enough life going this route? Maybe, maybe not. We have to go this way, so can we actually make it here, and can we try to do anything there? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
Surely I just give up on accuracy stack and dream to just go BV and stop fucking trolling.
Man just came out of nowhere with that. Surely, right? I mean, do you want to?
I don't actually know what I want to do because I don't know what else I'll be playing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Feel me, bro? Feel me, bro? I know I said that twice, but I don't know what I want to do because I don't know what I'll be playing.
You don't know what you'll do because you know what you'll be playing. Do you have any content that even remotely appeals to you? Would be where I'd start, I guess.
Like, it's usually the content, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't genuinely, anything that I rolled is just doing what I'm doing now. I don't really want to do scarabs tonight, so I'm probably about to like.
You can go for some 8 mod map farming. Assuming you're okay with T17s. If you don't do T17s, then just farm 8 mods and I don't know, do strong boxes or something. All right, you know what we're going to do? We are actually going to make a copy. And this is the version that is we're going to try to rework. Because here's my thought process. I can keep going the way I am going, and I mean it's fine. I already have most of the pieces. I have my Dark Monarch with the corruption I wanted ready to go and all of that. But I don't know how much better my Claire is going to be. I don't know that I see getting, you know, miles better. And because I don't see it getting miles better, I'm inclined to just say, okay, let's go for a different route. Also, before we even just get too distracted, let's just test this. Let me be very aware that this is not the play, and then we can actually wholeheartedly try to change that. I think Paradoxical Replica Victorious is still better than King of Kolomak. I don't think King of Kolomak is the best weapon for I don't think it's the best weapon for chains of command.
I do love the stink of victory.
This feels much better. What the fuck? Am I coping? Let's see. Get out of my inventory. Thank you. What is this lag? I think this feels way better. Is it just me? It looks way better. It looks like that is all I needed. I just needed to be able to fit the explode. Am I level 80 yet? Not quite. That feels much better, actually. Wait, so what happened? Between the last time we tried it and this time, what changed? The biggest thing I think that changed, if you is we went melee splash where we weren't actually melee splashing before. I do think I'm very open to the charge stacking idea still. So we are still going to POB that variant because it's going to still be better clear than this, regardless of if this feels nice or not. But this actually doesn't feel bad. I think it's not as bad as it was. And keep in mind, again, we can easily have more damage. The problem is not single target damage. This is a map that has early res as an example. Monsters have early res. Because they have early res, everybody's tankier and all that. Because like we're still using the level 18 gem, we can easily get more damage coming from them. We're not using a curse. We're not the level 84 for Dark Monarch, so we don't actually have a curse. We don't have the setup we want to have. So there's a lot of room for improvements here. I think it's a mix of having the curse aura and melee splash that is making this variant perform as well as it is. I think it's the addition of all the pieces we've added for Claire coming together to actually make the Claire good or serviceable. Not necessarily that's it is that insane. It's not that insane. I think it's just now we have melee splash, we have Witchfire Brew for with Witch Bane combo plus explode the trifecta. That is why the player improved, I think.
I can't do this just yet.
Yeah, Toxic Swords will feel really nice on this implementation. Toxic Swords will feel really nice. So I think we might invest in some Toxic Swords map so we can actually efficiently clear, or more efficiently clear, I guess.
I think I commit to a build. I can have fun.
I think so. I think you probably get that of your current setup. If anything, the only wrong choice I would say is probably sticking to you know what you're tired of. So if that helps.
Can win this!
I think I commit. I've crafted a cluster. I can make some more.
What cluster? The one you were painstakingly spamming also?
Bro, I was in jail, wasn't I? Like actual pain. That shit was so much pain. Glad I'm free.
Welcome back to the rest of. Welcome back to actually playing the game.
I went to buy another cluster to start crafting. Tell me why this guy has so many. Bro, he has a whole tab of manager shop of all the clusters and all the 35% increased fractures.
Hey, what can you say is a good businessman?
Yes.
Man's entire stash type body. Man has so many fractured numbers. He's just like, okay, I'm running low on this. Just go fracture.
For real. I just bought two 17D each.
D? Money.
D. D. It's my sign of commitment. I feel like if I don't do like something like that, you know.
Yeah.
I'm tired of PO being one build one day, up and another build the other day. But we're going to do boxes, it doesn't matter. Again.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to boxes, eh?
I'm just going to do boxes. It's not that deep.
Oh, I just realized my champion is level 81. Just 3 more levels. Three more levels.
I watched a guy who was streaming today.
Okay. I just realized I should have switched these a while ago. This is more flats. And they are now level 21. So, and because I have stripped the gem, I might as well just go do that. So he's leveling? What about him? Okay, this is an AoE map clearly. Ow. I also, oh wait, hold up, I've actually forgot. I'm now level 80. I'm trolling by not having my grafts. I'm trolling by not having this guy. It's not 100% uptime because I don't have the warp rune grafts, but it's good enough. What is this supposed to be? Rational doctrine, I suspect. Realistically, what do I want to do? I kind of want to be a bit more defensive, but I also kind of want more.
I believe in the more likely.
What do you mean you believe in the more likely? What more likely?
It's too late now.
07. Let's get
The
regen.
more likely didn't believe in me. What is the point of more likely? That should just bait.
Yeah. Any other questions? I just realized you're talking about harvest more likely. That's just trash.
Wait for me. On the slam.
Good luck. You will need it.
If it's a notable, it's dead.
Good luck.
Thanks for your fucking luck.
You're welcome.
I can't do this just yet.
Why do we get so many harbingers? Wait. What is up with this tree? Do I go to middle one? Yeah, that explains it. That explains a lot. Defensively, we are actually starting to feel really nice, so it might actually be time to start running actual content. That being said, those 3 points I took for explode, I'm going to need to figure it out.
Fair fight. Not bad.
You know, I was like, why am I not moving? Then I remember the simple fact that my current character is not ailment immune or even freeze immune for that matter. So I need to do something about that. Anyways, we are 82. The current setup benefits from, I think, Dark Monarch's link is what actually allows me to be able to get purity of elements. But anyways, let's just put everything in here. Here. Let's see how many points we have. Take away this bonus points. And now we go here. We go here. Pick that up. We no longer care about max endurance because we'd be going for something else. We just care about max frenzies. This is these. Before we go any further, let's just do this real quick. I guess the question is here or here, and I think I'm leaning towards here. Wait a second. Is there a universe? Oh? Oh? Don't we exceed a 100% chance to do double damage at this point? Good luck. Luck, you will need it. Yeah, we are 100% chance if we drop this. What'd you get? Still 100%. So at this point we are
chaos.
Tier 1 chaos. Wait, hold up, Joe. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why are we at a 100% chance to do double damage? Can I check my double damage chance? Where can I see my double damage chance? Like, I can see it's here 100%. What up, Blitz? Welcome. How you doing? 7 in a row. So full week. Appreciate you being here. Let's start from the top, I guess. We have 3645. So that's 36 chance to do double damage. Then we have... We need to do impossible escape here. Then we have 5, 10, 15, 30%. That's 66% chance to do double damage. Now, unless they added fucking support for Rigwald's Hunt, didn't they?
Bro's inflating the fuck out of the POV.
Yeah, the POV that doesn't actually have a DPS number is being inflated.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's happening. They've added support for Rigwald's Hunt with an update on POB. Yeah, it's there. Okay. I'm mad at that. I'm very happy. So now we know that, because this is what I expected. I expected 66%. 66% chance to deal double damage. That confusion, I was like, yo, why are you 100% if I take these guys off? So in theory, if I'm able to pull this off and get one more here, which is not possible, by the way, but let me just see. That puts me at 81% chance to deal double damage.
I just don't think I care what Rasham says. This is one of the worst crafting mechanics in the game. Like, I actually don't think I care anymore.
Oh, 7.
I don't mind it. Fist me off.
I mean, I don't like it personally, but that's me.
Bro, what am I doing?
Death attunements.
I'm literally with a clown. Like, Whatever.
Did they change this? Huh. Anyways, add to build, amulet, replica badge. Wait, is bone melt supported now? Tell me you are. Where is bone melt? Holy, bone melt is green. Wait, let me see. Okay, let's look at their DRS 3933 whatever. Let's slap on the bone meld. This should get up to over 400. The bone meld is what that means. Holy, bone meld is supported too. GG. POB for the win. Love to see it.
Yeah, players stay winning.
Yeah, we win in POB. We're not really in game, eh?
That's all you need, man.
Sure. Holy. So I guess the question is, what do I care more about? Because if I drop this, I'm fine. If I drop this, I'm fine. But I don't think I can have both. Do I care about 15% more higher chance to deal double damage, or do I care about 4% more damage and crit, a 50% increased crit chance? Well, the damage, because replica badge. So here's the thing. Now that we're switching to replica badge, we have to switch this guy to Devourer of Minds. My first time actually being able to unironically use this minion helmet. Corrupted with +1 max power. At least I hope I'm going to be able to use it. Switch to Devourer of Minds. That puts us at 4 DPS Spectres. But we have to get rid of Turtle, get rid of Warlord. Crush Claw. Oh yeah, Crush Claw was just to see something. It's not really helping anyways. Surely it means we have nope, no Spectres. A man can dream. Anyways, we've switched to Devourer of Minds, which means your minions have the same charges you do. So I need a source of power charges is what this means. I don't currently think I have a source of power charges. If I go explode weapon on my AG, like one-handed, then I can technically go for power charge shield. What's it called? Victorious Charity. I could technically do that, which is power charge on kill, frenzy on hit, but then that means single target, we don't have access to power charges. But I guess we will also probably be going for Assassin's Mark. And Assassin's Mark is 5% chance to grant a power charge when hit. But the problem with this is I am not hitting. I have 0 plans on hitting. I have no source because like this is my source of frenzy charges. I can just keep this and life is good. That's also my source of endurance charges. They both scale similarly, but I will need a source of POB added gold support to show you how much gold you need to respec. That's kind of funny. Anyways, with the 15% chance to deal double damage, we'd be at 87% total, which is very good actually. Let's remove bone melds, everything from here, because we no longer need that line. We probably also want to remove this, right? Let's see. No, we don't. They haven't implemented the increased life coming from Rigwald's haunts. Okay, cool. So we do want to have this. We just don't want to have the double damage. So how much fortification am I going to be on? Where can I see my fortification? 42. So that's 42% chance to do double damage for my minions as it currently stands. So this is 1% chance to do double damage, because that is, yeah, that is 1% chance to do double damage. It does mean that I have to be careful with blue altars, because blue altars will take my armor and evasion and just shit on it. But anyways, that's a worry for another day. For now, we need to worry about power charges and where we're gonna get it from. Because being able to give my minions 5 power charges. 5 power charges is 250% increase crit chance. So if I say my minions use power charges, where the fuck did you go, my guy? 5, not 6. Then I turn off Frostbite and I go for Assassin's Mark. And then with all my green nodes, I just go for Mark effect. Do I care about this? I don't know that I do, but I mean, if AG is handling clear, the only thing we care about is single target, right? And this will help that single target scenario, seeing as we only have 4 DPS like minions essentially. We also get feeding frenzy, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we actually do get feeding frenzy because now there's our AG to actually apply it. Is it actually a cap on how many tattoos you can have, or is this just POB counting? My minions, yeah, they use my charges, so they don't need Warlord anymore. Let me think. What is the play here? Where's my 45 again? Here. 42%.
I'm doing Val Temple maps next, I think.
Okay.
And this shit is pain.
Why?
Each map, each hideout. You're buying them.
Oh. You mean Alva?
No, Val Temple.
Why you need Val Temple?
Because remember, I've always said it was one of my favorite strategies. I always thought it was cool, the corruptions you can get.
Mine is dopamine starved. That's okay.
No, I think this is the best league to do shit like that, right? Just do shit to do shit.
Yeah, I mean that's the game, right? You just want to do shit to do shit.
I don't really need to feel that much. I'll take what I can get.
Lol. All right. I think realistically, if we want a balanced build, what is the crit chance here? 90% crit chance on my minions, because Giga crits coming from the power charges. Giga flat crits coming from, well, 5% base, 6% brittle, 2.52 assassin's mark, and then Giga crit multi still, because we can actually x3 because vicious bites x3, spirit offering. What happens if we turn this off? We lose double damage chance. Our crit goes to 86%. 86 is still very healthy, and then crit multi just loses like 10%, actually like 15%. The alternative would be to drop 50% increased crit chance, as well as 1% fortification, as well as 1 endurance charge and 1 frenzy charge. I think it's a no-brainer because the fortification is 1%. Basically, this is what we gain by going this instead of the cluster jaw. By going here, we're gaining 1 frenzy, which is 4% more damage from my minions. We're gaining attack cast speed, 4% increase. We need to love all the attack cast speed we can get. We're gaining mark effect from the travel nodes. We're gaining power charge, which is 50% increased crit chance. We're gaining 1 endurance charge, so that's an extra 4% PDR, EDR for us and our minions. We're gaining 1% less damage taken from fortification from hits. And of course 1% chance to do double damage by extension. It's a lot. Whereas if we go this route, like the clusters, we're gaining crit chance and crit multi from vicious bites. We're gaining 15% chance to do double damage because from the renewals. We're gaining like 20% chaos stress from my minions and 20% life for them, which equates to like, I want to say 3% increased life for us with Dread March alone. We're getting more life than that because there's life here, there's life here, there's life here, life here, and so we end up probably looking at like maybe 10% increased life, something like that. But we can also just make up for that by going Blood Drinker quality D. We actually can just do that if we so choose. So there's that. And if we go this route, we actually still can, like, we have the points to flex. We can flex into other things like picking up this one, as well as increase evasion if you have been hit, increase armor if you haven't, or some other options we actually do still have access to. I can survive the waves to get to Trial Master. Chaos Bloodline just outside my reach. Oh shit, did Trial Master kill you? Also, let's look at my war cries because the CDR here will determine if I can actually... See, 1 second cooldown. No, this banner, oh. I meant war cry. General's cries. What do you mean General's cry is 4 second? Oh, duration. Where's cooldown? 1.7 to 3.6. Not great. Not great at all. What about enhance? If we just enhance auto exertion, enhance the fuck out of it. What happens then? Cooldown recovery rates, summon Mirage Warrior such. But you get cooldown, So then we'd be looking at enhance 4, which should be cheap. By this economy at least. Rallying cry is down to 3 seconds. General's cry is down to 1.7. But so it was 1.7 before, but I guess the main benefactor would be Rallying Cry. Because he gets extra CDR coming from here. As well as extra CDR coming from here. So he would effectively get, if we were to give him Enhance 4. Enhance 4 is how much quality? I'm guessing 24. Yeah, 24. So he gets 48 increased cooldown recovery rate from there, as well as 12. So total of 60% cooldown recovery rate between those two sides. We still haven't messed with skills yet, but what does our armor look like? Our armor is looking woeful. It's looking pretty bad. I don't like that we lost all that Warcry cooldown, is the one thing I will say. I don't like that we lost all that cooldown. But I guess it's fine. There are worse things. We need a quicker source for charges though. We do need to get a source for... So one of these guys will need an enduring composure on it so we can get endurance charges. And honestly, having 42% fortification is very chill. And then we can obviously drop Witchfire Brew for something that's more beneficial, like off the top of my head, there's Progenesis, there's what's that? Bottled Fates, yeah, that one. Can equal can't. Oh, you can't get to Trial Master. That sucks. Trial Master is one of those fights where he's not free. He is definitely not free to get to. Aren't there like tickets you can get that will just give you a Trial Master fight? No, I get what you mean.
Twist of Fate strategy, so that'll be really interesting.
Your strategy, what now?
Test. Twist of Fate.
Twist of Fates.
Yeah, the notable that transforms the map.
You're going to have to be more specific.
Modifiers. It's in the Atlas tree. Twist of Fate. It's right above Shaping the Skies on the left. Right above the Cryptic Gateway. Your corrupted rare maps and any map crafting options applying to them are modified unpredictably when opened. Maps modified in this way have 1 to 3 additional random map modifiers.
The corrupted rare maps and any map crafting options applying to them are modified, unpredictable and open. Oh. So risk, but worse.
Not for Val Temple, because you don't really care for Val Temple, right? More modifiers is just always a good thing.
Can't one of your corrupted rares are modified unpredictably? You can't switch the map you're entering,
It does.
but then you just leave.
No, we wanted to switch the map. We don't care about it switching the maps. We just want to open the things.
But if you go Val Temple and you switch it from Val Temple, isn't that a problem?
Still does all the Val Temple thing. It's just on a map. It's on a map layout that's not Val Temple.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. What is a good wheel to get? I can pick up increased life from there if I were to use. Nah, there's really nothing I care about anyways. Yeah, there's nothing here I care about. I guess I could pick up evasion, ES, as well as, well, no, they don't fall in the same ring. Never mind. Nobody here has anything I care about, really. I guess if I had to go Ring of Fate, I could pick up this one and this one, the same swoop, which is 20% increased life. But that's the breadth of what I would get in that cluster.
My God, this shit is shitting out originator maps. I forget that it drops corrupted essences.
Well, does it drop? So it drops Hysteria then?
Yeah, it drops. Yeah, exclusively. Yeah, like not normal essences, just straight up corrupted ones.
That's kind of chill. I didn't know that.
That is kind of chill.
Regen into more life. What are we doing? Oh wait, I almost forgot to say, if we go this route, we also get more increased minion damage, which we are on the lower side of as it stands.
Like,
Nah, I think we just keep it as is.
good news is the quant from this would be insane from Breach. High quant maps, right? They're like normal maps, but it has 151 quant numbers. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, sounds chill. 21k
High variance
evasion,
strategy, but you
22k
could get
armor.
big on the double corrupts.
I know. I mean, you're a big believer of the strat. You've talked about it every single season.
Not so much a believer, but just like I just feel like the fact that this exists is like one of the parts of PoE I love.
I'll just take
could
the
hit
Guardian
big.
Ascendancy for now, but bummer. What Guardian Ascendancy would be the fourth one you take? You take 1, 2, 3. You are going zombies, was it? Was it zombies? No, it was Absolution. I know you mentioned zombies, but that was a different build. Time of Need. I guess that's, yeah, that's fine, I guess. Some nice occasional regen. I could also just go Giga increase evasion as well on all these nodes if I so choose, but I would much rather have 86% crit chance. So let's start messing with our links because it is very important that we do. This will no longer be a Can I even still fit the Guardian's Blessing in this? Purity of Eyes. Switch the Ruby to a Sapphire. That gives me 1% extra. Switch the Cobalt from max fire to max cold. And I still need to get Room Graph of the Warp. I would like my Phase Max here to be higher, but I also recognize that I have a defensive ability that allows me to have a defensive ability in the form of my graft that allows me to get away with this. 100k early max hits is huge. Where did my Chaos Res go? My helmet had a good chunk of Chaos Res. Bone Melt didn't, but my helmet did. That's the only thing we changed, right? We went from Dark Monarch with 32. What else did we change? Wait, now I have to go dig in. What else did we change? Oh, that's why. Watch his eye. I need to get Purity of Elements back. Is all that means. I'm not done tweaking with this, I guess. I mean, I know I wasn't done, but Purity of Elements.
Yeah.
Drop this. Pick up this. Pick this. Pick this. Nah, G. It isn't gonna work. The only thing I can think of that would 100% help is
First Starfall crit of the league.
good luck. If we go more renewals, we can probably forego regen because like this is 17%. Even more so for an AG that's built for it. So I guess let's do this. Let's go Flesh and Stone. Let's do animate Guardian. And then we create a new page for the animate Guardian. And in here we give him .26 AG carry, Infernal Legion explode.
Touch.
Well,
He didn't have anything.
he didn't
It's our
have
fault,
anything.
Creator.
Oh, what did you expect?
The first one.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic or what, but
I wanted that.
I mean, I know you wanted it. It doesn't change the fact that it's a 2% chance. I've done how many that I haven't gotten it, so I'd have been salty if you got it. I would have been
I was
salty.
thinking of doing a rush strat eventually soon.
That sounds miserable, but power to you.
Well, I need to mix it up with something I actually want to do. Now that we know the Verisium is literally like, if you see Verisium, you can leave.
We've known that for
Changes
a
things a little
season.
bit.
We knew that last week.
Do we?
Yeah, we did. I've known that since last week. For any rush strat, if your goal is literally just falling, you're just losing spallings per hour by doing anything else in your map that is not on the way to the Verisium. Just, you know, so you know.
Yeah.
Do I not have an explode chest? Oh, I think I kind of do. I just have to pull this in. Delete. 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 I guess so what? Delete. All right, so explode chest with +1 curse. Giga explode. So now he has Fizz explode and Chaos explode in different chances. Then of course we just need to give him a Gravebind, ideally with early weakness on hit, but if that's too expensive, then enfeeble on hits would be good. Early weakness on hit, then Legacy of Fury, increase the effect of Scorch, then a rare helmet. With probably armor, Giant Slayer, sure. Should have, I think, Shaper and what I think Redeemer. Redeemer is the code check, so she's the one that'll have minus cold res. And then increase early damage taken is Shaper. Take 9%. This is the helmets. And then anything else is bonus. What else would I want here? Cannot be poison, lol. Surely that's money, right?
Yeah, because it literally works. It has to be, man. So good.
I mean, who needs a socketed gem when you can have cannot be poisoned? I think that's all we're going for. I don't think it's worth trying to beast lock or anything fancy for this helmet. You just go for this. In the ideal universe, we either get life or we get AoE, but like we can't force AoE to show up, so we just leave it as is, slap it on him. Am I missing anything? Explode. You know, Kulamak, I am missing something. Harvest enchantment with AoE. All right, so explode AG has been set up. I have half a mind to switch this to AoE. I might honestly do that, but we are currently lacking in support in gem sockets, so I can't even guarantee that I can do that, if I'm being honest. 7k life recovery. Let's turn up the banner regen just in case. 1,000 still. It is a level 20 guardian blessing. Yes, it is. Okay. So we still can't maintain this kind of setting. However, we need clearly to get some more unreserved mana somehow, and the easy solution is obviously this. If we can do this, that frees up enough mana to do whatever else we care about. Question is, can we do that? What do we drop? Also, I need to be sure, what is my current minion increase life? 248. So I think the last time I calculated was 250, so it's not much different. I could technically get minion life here. That would help me a bit. We get mana regenerate as well. We're missing a Watcher's Eye.
The amount of originator maps are kind of insane in these maps with this quant, by the way. Sometimes I'll be actually dropping like 5 a map. 5 to 6. Granted,
Yeah.
I can't go to singular focus, but goddamn. And they're also dropping 8 mods because I'm using the 8 mod scarab, but damn.
Yeah. They drop a lot of originators. I don't like dealing with originator maps, if I'm being honest. But that's me.
Same.
All right. I think this is fair. I just need to remove a point from somewhere. Now, where that place will be, I know not. But I need to remove a point from somewhere. We have a lot of increased life. The problem is we don't have that much flat life. Which was why that Shred of Hope was really big, because it gave me a lot of flat life. My gear doesn't have a lot of flat life. Like, it literally just doesn't. Aside my rings, which are basically my only source of flat life, what other gear pieces actually have life here? Badge doesn't. I guess my boots will have flat life, so that's a source. Gloves don't, chest doesn't. It has increased life but doesn't have flat. Helmet doesn't, shield doesn't. So we figured out reservation situation. I'm just going to move these guys up here. I want this to have AoE, if I'm being honest, not Feeding Frenzy. So I'm going to need this is where Assassin's Marco sits. Yeah, if I don't put Feeding Frenzy on my AG, there's no other place like it can be. A would be really nice, but we are very, very, very socket starved here. We can delete this, and then this last guy is just going to be the Hydra. With this setup, we should not need to use multi-strike. We should have, I think it's a very balanced setup. Personally, I think this is a very balanced setup. I do need to cap my chaos res, and how we do that, I suspect I know how, even though, yeah, I suspect I already know how, and that is by dropping you and going the Light of Meaning with chaos res. I think that's how we do it. Only problem is now our minions don't have leech, but I guess one of these clusters could easily be a cluster. Instead of life, you give us Eastern Fiends, I think. Was it this? Yeah, it was. So then we actually don't take the Vicious Bite there. We just take Feasting Fiends, Renewal, and then we save the points we need. Losing increased damage is not ideal though. But I think this is fine. It's a lot of crafting is the only problem, because you have to craft a lot of the Aegis gear. That's like the biggest problem here. But other than that, also earlier you asked, but I am juggling Chains of Command, Necro, Vow, Dominating Blow, Guardian, and Fire Zombies Chieftain. I took my old Chieftain and wrote it into that. Still works in they're all still work in progress, or the Chieftain is still work in progress? Sounds good. Really enjoying the sandbox, so good to hear. I'm assuming none of these are SSF. They're all in Trade League, right? So only Chieftain is a work in progress. Makes sense. I honestly want to say, because of all the minion life we already have, we could drop one of these and end up picking up and pick up an extra minion damage node. But the reality of the situation is there's only one of these that I've been able to find. There's only one that I've been able to find that has double minion damage, and currently it's overpriced. Currently it is overpriced. So yeah, I think I've settled on this as a cluster in any case, or as a timeless. If we turn off my banners, am I still capped on res? My fire res could use a bit of work, which means a source of cold res has to be switched, and that's the bone ring. Cold res switches to fire. Save. This is without both banners, right? No banner is here. We had too much res. What the fuck? When did this happen? 50, 40. What the? When did this fucking happen? It happened when I went double res here. That's when it happened. Sub Zatham. I think we drop one of these for a chaos res. You know something I just remembered though? We still don't have a source of frenzy charges. We still don't. I saw a Gazi video today and I'm pretty sure you referenced your video in it. Oh shit, really? Which one? Let's see the video. I have been busy all day, so. All right. PoE2's endgame was saved by Diablo. Lol.
Is that the video?
The
Yeah.
original plan for PoE2 beta was to release
7 hours ago.
campaign only. Then they heard all of the people across the world trash talk Diablo for its lack of endgame. So they were like, you know,
I mean, that
what?
is true.
We're not gonna do that.
This
So
is factual.
Diablo, good. D4 good. That's it. D4 great. They made PoE say, hey, we
It wasn't
need
named, but I'm pretty sure it was
so
referring to your recent build.
Speed ran the endgame, which is why it's very lackluster, which is also one of the reasons why Point 4 is now going to be a fully focused endgame patch. It's because of D4. D4 made PoE good. Here's another take. Many years ago, there was an Exile con. God, I want them to do another Exile con. If you've never
Surely
been
we
to
go
New
for the
Zealand
next
and
Exile
you
con,
ever
right?
do an Exile con, take your chance. It
I'd
is
like
amazing.
to.
So at Exile con,
I mean, I'm down
It's 1.0.
to. I'm down to try going for it if I can afford to. It was kind of disingenuous what he said. About what?
Yeah, my drama.
talking to Chris Wilson, we were at.
Well, if it is, and I got stuff to say. I'm just joking. I don't actually have anything to say.
If you've never been to New Zealand,
What's the
and
timestamp?
if
It's a
they
long
ever do
video.
it at ExileCon, take your chance. It is freaking
Okay.
amazing. So at ExileCon,
I'll just watch you
we were
then.
at, Jonathan's house, and Chris Wilson said that he credited a lot of the PoE 1 at this point, of course. Path of Exile 1's success, a lot of that is credited to Diablo 3. And the reason for that is because Diablo is a buy-to-play game. So there were people who never touched an ARPG game, or OGs, right? That they spend money, they buy their way into playing an ARPG game. And the longer they play Diablo, the higher the chances of those people being in a scenario where they're being told by other people, hey, you should try Path of Exile. It's free to play. And if they then find themselves enjoying the ARPG game genre, which they paid money to play, and they're now being told there's a better one, which is free to play, there's no reason for them not to try Path of Exile. So a lot of the success of Path of Exile has been credited by the main people behind Grinding Gear Games to Diablo. So Diablo does good things.
I think that is going to be quite some drastic nerfs to the high end. I think people are just tired of the lightning meta. I think as a result of that,
I'm very scared of what PoE2 is going to do to crafting. I think they want crafting. I have no idea what the new system they're going to of crafting they will introduce with the new season, because I think there'll be a new crafting system.
It is not possible.
I think the chances are just like they might do what, like the level cutoffs, or they might say this homogenizing is no longer guaranteed, it's now harvest, it's now increased chance to get the modifiers you have, or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
I think they might go that route, which would be sad, but we'll see.
they're just going to nerf hard on those things to really shift the meta. And I think people will like that they're doing that.
Like there's just some of these skills where you play them and they just don't they don't feel very great for sure.
True.
So like I mean I would say
So-
that there's going to be balance changes. I mean I definitely think that there's going to be some nerfs because
I'm not
I
eating.
doubt they're currently happy with the Roa situation though. I mean I could be wrong. Maybe
The
they
Roa
have, but,
situation.
they've been kind of quiet.
That was one build I actually wanted to run. I had an idea for my last season where I was going to put Infernal Legion on Iroa and just ride it to be like an RF playstyle. But the more I looked into it, the more friction that setup just had, because like you'd be surprised the limitations Roas have. For example, when you're on Iroa, you cannot cast a curse. And curse scaling is very big in PoE2's current. For at least for minions, it's very big. You can't really go without it. You need that minus res. You can't even use blasphemy. When you're on a Roa, apparently your minions should show up as like an X, like you shouldn't have supporting minions, but they still summon, but that seems buggy, you know. I feel like their intention is that you wouldn't summon minions, or you wouldn't be able to, which is weird. I don't get it, but you know. So the more I looked into it, the more I was just like, yeah, nah. Can't watch Gazi anymore. So unrealistic expectation is set, in my opinion, and he does have some takes on things, but I just find it easier for me to ignore him. I mean, to each your own. I can watch Gazi. I think when I was new to the game, I was very, very big on like learning a lot about minions, and Gazi as a resource was very helpful in that time, especially when it came to like enemy guardian gear and why you would use it, or specters at the time, so before affliction, of course. So like why you would go for like a host chieftain, what's the host chieftain, carnage chieftain, arena master, what they did, like he had a PoE vote, so like that was a very, very good resource for me coming in. And like of course I now just make all the builds that I roll, so I don't really have much reason to explore that creators except just see what they're doing and see if I get any new ideas.
I would like.
That's true. I will say this. PoE 2 has the same situation as PoE 1, where any build in the game works, except for conversion trap. But any skill works in the game.
Conversion trap is a meme.
You can take the shittiest shit ever, and if you pour a bucket of currency on top of it, it will work eventually. It will. You guys remember the good old days of Syndicate Operative Spectres? If you ever remember, if you have any recollection of how insane that was, leave a comment down below saying, I remember. I saw a video yesterday. Someone said, Syndicate Operatives are back. 50 million DPS. And I was like, yo, did I miss something? I have to watch this. I watched it. Required items, Mage Blood. And then I shut the video off.
like to see some buffs as well. I'd say balance changes are just like
Lol.
always be some.
I mean, he was refreshing my video. But here's the thing.
What did he say?
No, he just said like you can make anything work with currency, and then he referenced my video and how I said it needs a meat. But I'm just like, I mean, I'm very open about it. Like they are not in a great spot, but you can get to where you can get close to where they were if you sacrifice some things in your character and then use a mage blood to fix those things. You can also get by without a mage blood, but I find this information was also misleading, especially crafting takes. He would say this is entry level gear, and if you watch his stream, he would be getting his currency gifted by viewers and not farming it like us plebs, which pissed me off to no end. Fair. I haven't watched any of his league start streams because I'm typically streaming myself, so like I just know whenever I look, he has currency and he's crafting and he's selling stuff. So I don't know about, you know, being gifted and stuff. Like I don't know, right? Meanwhile, I'm live. You guys see how I make my money. What will I say though? Yeah, actually, like the only thing that I guess I'm not the biggest fan of would just be the spicy crafts, I guess. The Red Defiler gloves requiring all those mods, or the minion helmets, you know, very specific modifiers that you would eventually want to mirror, basically, if you want the ultimate power fantasy. I always lean towards, I don't like mirroring items or anything like that. I always lean towards, give me a 6-link and I'll make it work. Or if I'm going for like a 12-link weapon, I would want the 12-link weapon to be very reproducible if I'm going to use that in a guide as an example. But you know, there doesn't seem to be mirror minion helmets. I don't think mirror minion helmets have been popular for a while. Like, realistically, I don't think they have been, because that helmet slot is competing with a Dark Monarch and a Great Lord, so it's very hard. Like in a Spectre meta, it's going to be very hard to find, I guess, business enough people to mirror to make it worth crafting said helmet, unless you just wanted to make it and now you're fine with whatever you get as, you know, additional money back. But the main reason people would make a mirror minion helmet is because there's profit to be made by what's the name of that cost, mirror fee. I know weapon chieftain, but that's for selfish reasons. I mean, you don't have to go for the full mirror. You could do something a bit, you know, you could cut costs here and there. You wouldn't be as good as a mirror tier. It wouldn't be like level 25s all around, but you know, level 16 here, level 20 there, you probably get a very decent amount of performance out of it. And the increase is, I mean, it's going to be there for sure, but it's not going to be like 50% more damage as an example. For a long time, Gazi has a monopoly on minion build guides, and he always plays with his crafted helmets. I mean, when he makes the mirror tier helmets, he has, I mean, he said it himself in like his streams, where he's like, if he makes a guide with the mirror tier helmet and he's charging a mirror fee and somebody else makes it, he will literally make his own free to drive the other person out of the market. Like, he said this on stream multiple times, I think, at this point. So yeah, there's incentives at least for that. 6 mirrors, you're ready to drop on a build to finish your challenges. I mean, you could just go for the crafting project of going for a mirror tier helmet. The minion community would thank you for it, that's for sure. But yeah, in making that comment, I don't care too much. I'm very open with what I needed. You can make it work without image, but if I'm being very honest with you, it's just you would have to skip out on certain things, like certain things that are really good damage. That's the only thing. Like, you'd spend less points going for the damage nodes, and you spend more points just fixing your own defenses, going for a bit more res here, a bit more, like, you might use more cobalt jewels to get max res. You're not going for 90% max res either. You'd be going for 85 or something. There are ways you can do it without a mage blood, but it is, syndicate operators are just expensive. Like, it is what it is. They're just expensive compared to like the filers. Besides, if you really think about it, I can just pull up cost right now. Let's do it this way, so the game's actually paused. A +1 shield, a max spectre shield is 20D. A Sublime Purity of Ice is exit to character for this. Sublime Purity of Ice, you're looking at an extra like 50-60D. Right? Let me see. Where did I put the Sublime again? Here. Speaking of, I should liquidate this character. This character is just currency going to waste. But anyways, Immutable Force, where are you? There we go. Another 20D. Watcher's Eye. Fizz D term converts 20%. 30D. You look at a build like this, right? The things that give it damage will eventually add up to a Mage Blood. So if instead of going for a Mage Blood, you go for these items, like that's one way to look at it. But then you could obviously reverse that, go for a Mage Blood, and now I'm not using the shield, I'm not using some hyper specific Watcher's Eye, I'm not using many of the other things that would like made Wretch Defilers more expensive, as an example. So it has the places where it's cheaper and it has places where it's more expensive. It will crowd the 6 link and then say entry into build is the helmet, and yeah, he will spend 30 plus attempts to make it. I do remember having a similar experience, I guess, to a degree, where oh, I forgot, I should be using banners here. I remember having a similar experience where I was thinking, oh, is there any way I can potentially craft this helmet for cheap? And every single time as a newer player, of course, now I will preface this by saying, as a newer player, I probably wasn't, you know, being the most efficient with my currency when I was crafting and everything. But whenever I tried to craft the helmet, because in my head maybe I could profit off of it, I ended up just losing currency and getting a suboptimal helmet. But that was just my experience as a newer player. Looking back at it, what do I think? Looking back at it, I genuinely don't think I'm the biggest fan of, I guess, the crafting steps needed to get the +2 minions and 2 gems or something like that, because that was the requirement, right? It was like 2 gems and +2 minion on the same helmet, and if you didn't get like minion damage and +2, it wasn't. I don't really remember the steps at this point, but I just remember that at least. The issue is that you would trade currency by instead of farming it out. I mean, that I can't speak to, because like I said, I haven't watched his stream so on Elite Star, so I genuinely do not know.
Countless vessels with one will.
They did more damage with this guy than with this guy. Make it make sense. How does that work? Wait, how does that work actually? Why did they do more damage with this? That makes no sense. You know, I forgot that was actually not running a Delhi orb map. Yeah, +2 minions who lost 2 gems, minion damage, and usually crit or something. Yeah, because you wanted them to have the flat crits so they could actually scale efficiently and all that. Yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah. I need to sell these maps. I don't want to deal with selling these maps. I really don't. And these rings as well. I should sell them. I really should. Anyways. Where were we? Have we finished with this? I think we have, right? I think I'm very happy with it, where this setup is in terms of AG, all of that, all the pieces involved. And I think the biggest downside I could see was that you would have to craft the AG's gear. As he was talking against you. Oh, in the video, I think he was referencing my chieftain build, the syndicate operative one. He just said like the fact that the requirement is mage blood makes it expensive, and as such, he didn't want to watch it, which is fair. Like, I know many people who appreciate like end game setups with mage bloods and everything, and I know many people who like the farming up to it, which is why I try to make guides which have the lead up to it, but I also try to make sure I have that aspirational POB in place, because without that high end, people can get lost. Mage blood is expensive, but it helps so much. Yeah, it literally, by having a mage blood, and this is why I farm a mage blood personally every single league. It allows you to go for more unconventional setups and really like push minions to their limits, because now you have a mage blood, you can actually solve certain problems that you wouldn't have been able to easily solve otherwise on a minion setup. And now because you have those setups, those problems solved, you can actually take you can actually be more aggressive with your minion scaling, because the biggest problem with minion builds is that you have to scale your survivability, your minion survivability, and your minions damage all at the same time. And keep in mind your survivability, I say that, but it's not just one thing. You're scaling your avoidance layers, your mitigation layers, your recovery layers. You're trying to scale everything together, you know. Speaking of recovery, what the fuck happened to my regen? Fuck, that is not good. That is not too good. Not good at all. Is Feasting Fiends worth the life I give up? Probably. I feel like it probably isn't, to be honest, but let's see. Okay, it's not that much life I give up. It's not that much. Yeah, it's not that much life I'm giving up, actually. But at the same time, I do still need to... Yeah, let's stick to this just for the points. It makes it easier. I need a giga-based absolution POV. I mean, so this is largely theoretical because I've never actually been able to make it work. But like during Freesia, I was theorizing, and this is because PoE can't really calculate how much GPS you'd actually be using. But it's possible that if you can stack voices and minion CDR, well, I guess it's Sentinel CDR clusters, then Val Absolution might do more damage. Might. They aren't really an adorned minion, right? They have decent base damage, but Val Absolution has really good base damage. So adorned is less effective on it, and especially because at least when it came to Val Absolution, he was responsible for more than half of your damage. Your 3 sentinels were chill, but he would like more than double your DPS just by existing. Giga Absolution build from Merc League was fucking insane. This league, there's a perma-val absolution with the Chaos Bloodline. Don't know if it's good or not. I've seen two. I have one that I made as a league starter, and I saw someone that made a different setup referencing my free share setup. I have seen one build using perma-val absolution at least. I like the tech he did with, he used Might of the Meek here. He went for, my idea for this league was that you wouldn't be able to go for perma-val absolution by reducing soul game prevention below its duration. But the way he did it was he went Might of the Meek here, which hits these two nodes, increasing their effect. But then that disables notable so that he can't take this one in, for example. But like that's the only notable I think that gets affected by Might of the Meek here. So by having 24% duration here and here, he's able to actually then go for less duration here and or reduce duration and reduce his soul game prevention while simultaneously increasing his duration on his Val Absolution to then get perma Val Absolution. And I thought that was very cool. CDR for the giant circle spell it does. You're getting, so here's why you would want to stack CDR on Absolution. You would get CDR because of this giant circle. You get CDR because of the wave attack he does. The wave attack actually like his shotguns, right? So by having him do that more often, he does giga damage. You're also having your regular absolution use, I think they have an empowered ability that has a cooldown. They're using that more often, which does more damage than the base cast. There's a lot of benefits to CDR. So being able to stack CDR might be more damage, especially seeing as the Sentinel CDR cluster also comes with it comes with minion damage. Is it while you have a herald skill or something like that? I forget. Something like that, I think it's the minion damage while you have a herald skill. But POB can't tell you if this is more damage or not. It's just you're stacking Giga CDR to get all these things available. And of course, there's also the CDR mastery on top of that. How do I get this Fizz max hits higher? My armor is lacking and it's lacking by quite a bit. What can I do? Obviously running D-term fixes everything. I can't afford to run D-term, I don't think. This is 12%. This is 8%. Okay. I think being able to pick up this cluster would be really nice. Like this wheel. I guess if I drop this one. Wait, can I do this now? Yeah, but then this is a level 100 POB. I'm trying to stay away from the level 100 requirements. I guess if I really wanted to, what I would do, I mean, Progen helps a lot here, but that's a very expensive. I think Progen is over 100D right now. So just having this, I would say is, I don't want to have to buy that personally. What other unique flask is there that would help a lot? I could go Rumi's concoction, I guess. I could do that, and that is a bit more survivability while we're clearing. This is still 8k EV. Where am I getting 8k EV from? Where am I getting flat EV from? Rigwald's hunt and my helmets. Oh, okay. So I think I might be dropping the Jade Flask for a Granite Flask. I think that might be the play. What did the Jade Flask have again? Corrupted blood. There. That helps my Fizz max hit by quite a bit. Like, quite a bit, actually. Now we're at 40k armor. My newest ammo super build if you want to face pop. I'm curious. What do we have here, Yako? Are there any workaround for bosses / invitations for perma absolution? I think that's my main hold up. Bosses and invitations. The easiest way to do it would just be, yeah, there really isn't too much you can do there, because even if you go like Soul Catcher, it starts off empty. So it doesn't really help. You just kind of have to increase the amount of souls you gain if you can. I know Trial Master has gain soul per second as a small notable going up here. So if you're going up here, then, you know, also going for less souls required also is a big one. So I think if you really want to do invitation, it might be worth going for Priest of Yalmak for the less souls per use and reduced. Actually, is it? Yeah. Or going for Shepherd of Souls. I think Shepherd of Souls is the easiest one because you can cast it very quick, literally 8 seconds, like 8 souls, and you're good to go. Which is like, you just need to get 2 procs. So I think if you do enough damage within the prevention window, you get like 6 souls as the max single target. And there's like the window where you can't gain souls. So I think literally within the first few seconds of the boss fight, you can get your Valor Absolution going. But the problem I would say is actually getting your regular absolutions going. That would be the tricky part. Wait. This is a witch that parts all the way here. Why? For the block? What are you doing? What is this setup? Let's see. Aspect of the spider, raise spectre. What spectre are you using? Hypothermia. Hypothermia and fire pen. Are you using Raid Lord? Yes, you are. Block is coming soon. Okay. This is a level 86 setup, right? 85. Arctic. Are you using Sublime Vision? No. Flesh and Flame. Frigid Wake. Frigid Wake minus res. Cannot be chilled, frozen. Every 4 seconds. Chance of freeze non-frozen enemies for 0.4 seconds. Nearby shield enemies deal reduced damage with hits. Okay. Why Frigid Wake? Wait, what is the idea? What specters? Let's start there. What is the specter you are using here as your main DPS? It clearly is, wait, Infernal Legion Ignite Prolive. Huh? I'm confused. So it's a fire specter and you're finding other sources of chill for enemies. Marionettes. So they're exploding. They're using this to die. Ignite Prolive. So you're trying to get, do you get ignite chance? Do they actually, I don't think they come with base ignite chance, right? I could be wrong on that, but I don't remember them coming with base ignite chance. Okay, you get 67%. Okay, so you're getting raise and pillage. Yeah, raise and pillage, pillage. Okay. You have you have minion instability. You have life. What is your ascendancy? You're witch, and you want this. Are you? I'm assuming all your specters are marionettes because you don't have a support specter link, right? Are you using the belt? Yeah, you are using the belt. Siegebreaker. Chance to maim enemies on hit with attacks. I didn't know that was a mod on this. Huh. The more you know. You need negative rest for the specter, so how are you achieving that? Reflected rings. Okay. So you get them to die very quickly. You have 300% increased life from the tree. You have 80% coming from... Oh, okay, that's what you... I was like, I don't see a cluster drill. I'm just blind. I didn't see this. So this is endurance charges. Where is the increased life? Here. Okay. And then you're tattooing lightning res. Easy tattoo is minion max life, by the way, for the ins portions. How's it feeling so far? $35 effect, life, all attributes, fire us. Sheesh. Yeah, 35% effect is really nice. Bodyguards? Why did you go bodyguards? I'm assuming life from death is so that you can stutter their death so they're not in sync, right? That's why you go life from death. Yeah. Do you want bodyguards, or are you going to change this cluster? And free regen for you, yeah. Which is really nice. Okay, so this is just a placeholder cluster until you get 35% effect. Okay. 35% effect, life from death, and then suffixes. I think is going to be your best here. How quickly do they die? They have 300k life and they degen 100 per second. So that is about 3 seconds roughly. And then the others start trickling down. So when the first 125, I don't know the name, only 25% is Hawking corpses, I think. It's the zombies one. Do you get downtime in the explode? Like, is there any downtime, or is it strictly... No, you need corpses for that? if you get a gloom ring, yeah, you could get a gloom ring for the right side. Okay, so there is some downtime in when they are exploding. Like by the time the last one explodes and the first one revives to explode, there's a bit of stutter there. Here's my recommendation if you really want them to die quicker, because there are much easier ways for you to get them to die quicker. I personally typically go for the life stacking helm, and the life stacking helm wants them to have fire res, which makes it very awkward to explode. So what I tend to do in those situations is, and this isn't a perfect recipe by the way, but this is another way you can get them to farm. You just need a fortress covenant. But instead of putting it in a cluster jewel, this makes minions take 20% increased damage per notable. So you slap it on here. This is 20%, this is 40%. And then you take this to make it 60% increased damage taken. And you can even go for this so it gets 80% increased damage taken by your minions. So you can do something like that. That's what I like doing. Or you can put it here. Here is actually pretty good because then you get 1, 2, 3. I don't know if it gets all the way to here, but potentially for 4. I think it might. So that's an easy 80% you're already taken. You need new ghastly eye jewels. I see you're solving ailments with your ghastly eye jewels. Why are you stacking so many? Is this for Amanamus? Stun, poison, bleed, ignites. It's a lot of problem solving, which is good. Is there a better way to achieve that though? Stun and poison. Stun shouldn't be an issue because you can use, for stun specifically, you can use immutable force with 961 and above rated roll, and you can solve stun that way. Say no mage blood. I don't know. I can see it's a siege breaker. You can use immutable force to solve stun. Poison, yeah, poison will either need a ring, which you don't have any to spare for a corrupted base, or poison will need a ring or some ghastly. So you can use ghastly to solve poison and bleed in one fell swoop. So, but you only need, like, I think you need 2 to 3 to completely solve them, and you can do that in just your helmets. Then for ignite, you can go for 80% chance to avoid shock as a cluster, or as a node on a timeless jewel. I don't like here. I don't know if you have space for an impossible escape, but if you did, then you could get 1, 2, 3. There's medium damage here, so 1, 2. You could get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're just looking for one source of chance to avoid shock, just one, and then everything else is like minion damage, minion life, all the other things, and I would say, and in theory, you can literally just drop these 2 points, use the impossible escape, get 2. And then with the chance to avoid shock, you're just going to use a storm shroud and 20% off of 1 ghastly. Or where else can we get chance to avoid shock? Yeah, just, and that you get 20% off a ghastly. You could get from boots, but I don't think your boots are. Oh, there you go. Your boots are +2 Spectre, so you can in theory also go for. Nah, you're rest starved. You're very rest starved. That wouldn't work. You're pretty rest starved. if you weren't rest starved, you could go for an awakener orb for Ray Spectre and chance to avoid shock, which is like, I don't remember which influence, but there's an influence with chance to avoid shock, and that'll cap you on your Storm Shroud. So far that would be Immutable Force, Storm Shroud, Impossible Escape, 3 jewels. That would save you at least 1 Ghastly. And for Bleed, I think Bleed was the missing one. You just get it on Bleed and Poison you solve here. But I mean, this also works. It just means you're looking for very specific clusters, or not clusters, Ghastlies. All right, that's gonna be it for today. I need to actually get some rest, and I think the sooner I try getting some rest, the better, because I have this thing where I just absolutely suck at sleeping early, like completely. I'm very bad at it, so I'm going to need to put extra efforts to make sure I actually sleep on time. Like yesterday, I stopped doing everything else I was doing, went offline, everything by like 12 midnight, which is late by some people, but for me that's very early. And I just couldn't sleep for like an hour to 2 hours. I just was awake, not doing anything, but I just couldn't sleep. So the sooner I start that process, the better for me. But anyways, like the build, yeah, the build it's a very fun idea. I really like anything that is off meta. I really like I forget their name. Marionettes. Yeah, marionettes. I really like marionettes. I wish there was a way to scale the revive time. There really isn't, but I really wish there was. But if you stutter them enough, there is bound to be there's potential there. But the solution to stuttering them enough, honestly, might be to make them die slower. Unironically, it's to make them die slower so they live a slightly longer when they get the health back. And by living slightly longer, you're stalling for time for the first minion to revive and then die. There is definitely a fine point somewhere in there, but like it's so hard to finick your way into finding it, and PoE doesn't have the support that I don't like. I've tried to finick my way into that. It just always ends up with the same downtime that just doesn't feel great. Yeah, cooldown recovery doesn't work. It's not an ability, it's just inbuilt to the Spectre. So there really isn't a way to do it. You can't even use like action speed or anything of the sort because it just doesn't work, right? But anyways, what we're gonna do is where did these points come from? The fuck? We're doing good, weren't we? We were doing good on points, and somehow, some way, okay, I fixed that. I definitely like I like this concept with Explode AG more so because I'm not entirely sure where my single target DPS is going to be coming from, seeing as we're only going to have 4 DPS minions. However, we're going to try it. And that's like the only worrisome part from me. We're going from 7 DPS to 4 DPS, which is, I mean, going from 4 to 7 is 75% more damage, right? So we have to make it worth losing that amount of damage by getting our AG to debuff a lot, by getting him to buff using all these other things, and it also makes Chaos Res a bit more awkward. But I think overall this will feel better because the explode is a lot more consistent because you have Kano Kulamak. And I mean, even the explode is going to be enjoying massive double damage boost, which is very good. And the AG would be a very, very big source of minus res coming to the enemy. Literally, but with the AG alone, he's bringing Scorch, which is like minus 15. He's bringing early weakness, which is under minus 15. He's bringing minus 12 from the helmets. He's taking them take increased early damage. There's a lot going on with the AG, and that's just from him, right? So we'll see how it goes. We'll see. But yeah, I will probably start tweaking my build to go in this direction instead from tomorrow. I think that is the current plan. So we'll see. But anyways, I'm gonna see you guys then. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. Reapers always feel slow. Yeah, Reapers have, without explode gloves on Reapers, without explode from bleed on Reapers, they just feel, I don't like their clear speed. I think the clear speed has always been a downside. I think Reapers can have good single targets, but like that clear speed is just not great. You know, it's just not great. But anyways, I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, have a good night.